Hey everyone, it's good to be back with you. Today I want to talk about turbulence. I want to talk about, what it's like to be the INFJ turbulent type, the T type. Some people think there's no such thing. They like to discredit the 16 personalities test and say, well, that test is inaccurate, this and that and the other thing. And so they don't even like, this idea of turbulence versus assertive. But I have to disagree. I believe there is a distinct difference between the two, and I believe that the distinction is very clear, even among INFJs. It's very clear. I read an article here a while back that mentioned that turbulent INFJs are extremely active in their mind. We have a lot going on upstairs here, a lot that goes on in the mind, and I can believe that. The writer said, and I don't know where he got his information, but claimed that the T type, let's just use for instance, if he gets out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, in 3 hours, by 9 o'clock, he has thought more thoughts in those 3 hours than all the other types or most other people think in 24 hours. So, just, stop and grasp how busy your mind must be if you are trying to process that much information in such a short amount of time. It just wears us out. And when I read that, I thought, that really makes sense. Now, I can't put myself in other people's shoes because I don't know what it's like to just kind of think thoughts that slowly or that randomly or that infrequently, because I believe a lot of times our brain is working overtime, even in the background, when we're not even aware of it. It's just rattling and processing. I saw a very fascinating video, and I'd encourage you to look it up, about INFJ slow cooker, and the slow cooker. It was talking about how we process and come up with these wow moments, if you will, or epiphanies. Where did they come from? How do we get them? And the lady had mentioned how we process things like a slow cooker, because our mind's always cooking and processing information in the background, even when we're not aware of it. And I'd say that's exactly how my mind works, because a lot of times I'll wake up early in the morning and boom, I have the idea, or boom, it could be a sermon, it could be another video, it could be another topic, it could be an answer that I've been looking for in life to some problem. It could be a number of things, and just boom, there it comes, all at once. But the flip side, and that's actually one of the positive things about turbulence, is we usually have a lot of these wow moments, these epiphanies, if you will, that really give us guidance, and they're usually extremely powerful, very in-depth, and usually carry us to the answer that we're looking for in a given situation. But on the flip side, there's this negative thing that just drives me crazy about this turbulence, because I'm gonna put it to you like this. I saw a picture, and it's been several months ago, of two water slides, starting at the top of a hill, coming down, and they paralleled each other all the way to the bottom into a pool. But as they got closer, to the bottom, they narrowed and become closer together. But both of those slides emptied, of course, into the same pool. And when I saw that picture, I thought to myself, I'm going to make a meme out of that picture. So what I did was I named one of the slides at the top of the hill, I do it. And I named the other slide, I don't do it. But when they come down to the bottom and met at the very bottom in the same pool, I named the pool, I regret it. So what I'm saying is, whether I do it or whether I don't do it, whether I say it or don't say it, it doesn't matter which slide I take, it usually ends up in the pool of regret. Because in my mind, I'm going to think, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I go there? Why didn't I go there? Why didn't I say that? Why didn't I do that? Why? And so it just funnels right down into the same pool. So I don't know if y'all can relate to that. So, that's the baggage that we carry around through this turbulence that goes on in our minds. It seems like I've always got some reason to regret whatever I've done, said, or whatever. So, and that causes the wheels to constantly turn in my mind, And so, because my brain doesn't ever stop. It wants to see every angle of everything in all of life. I mean, if it's something I've said, it wants to process every angle of what I said. If it's something I've done, it wants to process every angle of what I've done, not just you did this, you did that, so it's okay. No, I want to process, I want to process, well, how did that affect the other person? How did they view that? What did they think? Oh, I bet they think I'm a creep. Oh, I bet they think I'm off my rocker. Oh, I bet they think, that I'm strange or I'm this. So there's a million things that go through my mind with this turbulence, Has my turbulence been right occasionally? Oh, yeah, it's been right. They did think I was a nut. They thought I was crazier than bed bug. Absolutely. There has been times I've been misunderstood, no doubt about it. And I think that feeds that turbulence, And some of you, even as children, grew up really not being understood by either your parents or your friends, co-workers, whatever, schoolmates. People misunderstood you often, and because of that misunderstanding, it just fed this loop in your mind to continue this turbulent, overthinking way of life. And it's excruciating. I got to be honest, one of the most painful things that I believe some of us INFJs endure. It wears us out. We lose a lot of energy right here, And because we lose it here, we don't have a lot of energy to go around when it comes to the physical things in life that we need to get done, because we just can't get out of our mind, we can't shut it off. And this is a foreign language to sensors, trust me. I've got family that are sensors. They think I'm crazy, It's like, why do you waste your time on all of that, And, because they can just shut that off and go do whatever they got to do. They can live in the moment. That's something I have a hard time doing, is living in the right now, living in the moment, enjoying the moment. I'm not saying I don't enjoy life. I do many times, but I got to be involved in something that will kind of deaden all that talk in my mind. It's got to kind of blur it out or overpower it. Otherwise, this wheel's always turning, and it's always going places that, I wish it wouldn't go. So anyway, how has the turbulence affected you? And I've noticed with assertive types, assertive types, now here's the real kicker. Assertive types tend to be more reclusive, not quite as warm, not quite as outgoing. They can be warm, but they're not quite as warm. And if they have a mission or there's something they're passionate about, they will be like a bulldog. They'll grab a hold of it and they'll not let go. They'll fight to the bitter end for whatever cause that is, something they're passionate about. But they're not as people-oriented as the T-types. I believe the T-types are more warm, a little more fuzzy. So we're a little fuzzy. We're a little more warm. We're a little more sociable. We don't mind getting out and socializing. Even though it wears us out, we do enjoy the connection with other people. I think the A-types have a little more difficulty in that. But they're more assertive. They don't care if they hurt your feelings. They're not as interested in how, maybe it's a slight bit of they lack just a tad more empathy than a T-type. I don't know what it is, but, they don't mind just telling you what's on their mind, being assertive, asserting their way in a situation. But at the same time, because of because they have gotten a lot of kickback because of their assertive nature, they tend to recluse back into their shell. They're not as open and friendly maybe as the turbulent type. Our turbulence is seeking ways in our mind to go ahead and connect, go ahead and get out, go ahead and, make a friend, make something work. So we're figuring out ways to make our relationships plausible and workable, doable. Does it always work? No, of course, we're failures many times at it, but it doesn't stop our mind from trying to process a way to figure out how we can make it work. Assertive types are a little more like, well, if it works, fine. If it don't, fine. Don't care. So I'm wondering if the assertive type really has as much going on up here as the turbulent type. I'd like to hear from some of you assertive types. If you could share in the comments, how does your mind, I know some of you have that problem anyway, but I'd like to hear from you how your mind works, and are you able to shut this mess off? Anyway, I'll leave that with you. I don't want to be too lengthy. You take care. God bless. And I made this, but I'll have to clean that up. All right. Whew, it's a lot of work.